Hi, and welcome back to Pittman's Pumpkin Patch, Pittman's Garden Patch. It's September 27th, 2014, and this is going to be my first video for my fall garden, and a little bit about just other little things here and there. Well, as you can see here, and I started everything from seed that I have so far. As I started by seed about maybe a month ago, and this used to be the watermelon bed this past summer, and you can see I haven't really planted nothing. Nothing's planted down there, and there's a reason why, and that's because in about a month the sun won't really reach this part of the yard. From about, you can see where so from there on back, that'll be pretty much in the shade for the next few months after, I'd say maybe late October into early November. That'll pretty much, so I figured, why spend the time growing some things in there that's just not going to really be fully productive. Maybe I'm wasting space, maybe I'm not. But in the next couple of weeks or so, I'm going to be getting some strawberry plants, and this is what I typically do during the fall. I get my strawberry plants, my June bearing strawberry plants, and I put them in the ground and let them go dormant. So that's probably what I will do with that second half right there. I'll just put strawberry plants in there, June bearing ones, and I'll over here in this bed right here, which is, those are pumpkins still, but there's nothing in there, so I got to get rid of all of that. Sorry for the hand. And so I'll be clearing that out soon, and then I'll be putting the strawberries in there, and whatever strawberry plants I have left over from when I buy, I'll put into the second half over here. That way, at least I won't be wasting the space. And come spring next year, in May and June, when the strawberry plants do their thing, I can get when they're done, I can take the strawberry plants out and then put in some summer crops in here, and that'll be fine. And I don't know what I'll do with the second half over here come spring time next year, don't know. But in any event, here is my black seeded Simpson lettuce, well, like I said, I started it from seed, and it's doing pretty good. It's really starting to take off now. We've had quite a bit of rain here the last few days, and so some of this stuff is actually harvestable. And I really enjoyed the black seeded Simpson flavor, and it grew very well. I grew it for the first time last year. You can see that plant's not doing too well, but it's slowly coming on. That's doing pretty well and doing good over here. So I found I stumbled across a good winter black seeded Simpson. The taste is great. It's got loose leaf lettuce, and it's got a good crispness to it, and even the kids liked it. So I'm good with that, and it worked for me. Now in the front yard, I still got my peppers growing. Maybe I'll show you that stuff like that. And I got some of my mint plants, but I also started some red romaine lettuce, and I started some more collard greens out there. But I'll show you that in a little bit, I think, maybe. In any event, let's see. Well, here is my red Russian kale, and my one and only right now, oh gosh, why am I drawing blanks? Dinosaur kale. Now let me show you what happened here. Look at this. It looks like a doggone tree. I never really took care of it well during the summertime, and this is how hardy these plants are. And it's, like I said, this stuff was stripped pretty much bare. Disease, I was going to rip these plants out. I really was. I was just going to tear all this stuff out. But look at it. It's coming back. It's coming back. And what it was bugs. Bugs, worms, and I got a little bit, so I'm going to have to come out there and spray, because doggone it, you know what, I don't want to sit there and replant out some kale and things like that when I already got these, and they're still surviving and they're still producing and they're still doing fine. You know, I think I had some, so here's some damage right here. Here's a lot of what I was talking about. Just hicked clean, probably some cabbage looper or something like that. And so I have some BT, so I'm going to come out and nail it. Look at it. There you go. There's a good example right there. But the stuff is surviving and it's coming back. So, you know what? I'm going to hang on to it because I can mix this with my other black seeded Simpson lettuce, have a good salad. Hey, I'm cool with that. Like I said, I'm going to be pulling out these the pumpkin plant here. But I also want to show you this. Look at this. You guys recognize it, don't you? Nasturtium, right? After I pulled some of these leaves out of the way, pumpkin leaves, to get more sunshine in there. This was a volunteer, and I had a few volunteers of these from early on in the summertime. I would see occasionally they would sprout up, and I would pull them because the pumpkins were in here, and they were really shading it out, so it wasn't going to have a fighting chance. And so now I'm just kind of clearing out a spot, and I don't know if I'm going to let it go or not, but you know, because like I said, my strawberry plants will be coming in here in the next few weeks or so, and I'm just going to I'll probably end up pulling it. But these nasturtiums have a kind of a peppery flavor to them, and if you like that kind of thing, I was growing them mainly for what was supposed to be companion planting, and they're supposed to ward off cucumber beetles and things like that, or moths or something like that, and it didn't quite work that way. But they are beautiful flowers on these. Oh, gorgeous. I mean, if I could designate an area that was just for like flowers, nasturtiums would definitely be in there, because you can get so many beautiful varieties, and when they blossom, they're just kind of unique. They kind of have a cornucopia hook shape to their part of their petals, at least on the tail end of it, and they just are gorgeous. You look down the throat of the petals, and it's beautiful. You just have to see it for yourself, and they smell absolutely gorgeous. I mean, they're just top notch. I love them. So if I could ever designate an area to just flowers and not just vegetables, then nasturtiums would definitely be there. They like to spread out, and they will climb up a trellis. They will multiply very quickly and take over a bed very fast, given proper sunlight. So let's move on. As you can see, I've taken down all my pumpkins. All my pumpkins have been harvested. I've lost a few of them due to larvae that have been, the eggs have been set on the stems of the pumpkins, hatched, dug in, drilled them out, and the stems got all soft, and they got just ruined the pumpkins and made them rot. And I knew that was going to happen. I just never really did anything about it. So that's all me. The other morning, I got up to get ready to go to work, and there was I had a couple pumpkins sitting on my kitchen table, and lo and behold, one I could feel was getting soft, and I was getting ready to throw it away, and I look on the table, and going across the table is a larvae that was inside the pumpkin that caused that rotting in the first place, and came out and was trying to, I guess, find its way to soil so it could overwinter. And well, he didn't quite make it, but I mean, literally, it was a larvae crawling across my kitchen table that came out of that pumpkin. And I'm just like, come on, you know, you just work so hard as a gardener, and just to be thwarted in the end by a single little teeny tiny egg that hatches a larvae that ruins all your hard work, all your time, your money, your expense, everything. But you live and learn, you know. I got other ideas for next year, as far as like I found this special netting that you can, it's different from the Remay and the Agribon that I've tried in the past, and it's going to be even different than the tool material. I'm going to buy one and try it out and see if I like it before I go more full scale on most of my beds here, because I will build a frame much like this right here that goes all the way up there. Build a frame, but only it'll be lower down, maybe 5 feet off on the top of the soil, and just drape this special netting material over top of it. And it's supposed to let like 85% of the light in, the water and everything, but it won't trap the heat. And it's stronger than even the tool material that, you know, I like the tool material for certain things, you know, but the tool material doesn't come in wide enough measurements in order for it to be really effective the way I'd like it to be. It causes me to do more work and everything like that. And this stuff is going to be, I think, more durable. And it comes in, what is it, 3 meter widths, 6 meter, 12 meter widths. So a 12 meter width is roughly 36 feet. You know, so 36 feet wide. I can get quite a bit out of it. I could get this up probably 5 feet high, this framing and everything, the PVC pipes, and still drape it all the way down, and, you know, being able to pretty much secure all the plants inside and keep out the bugs. And then, you know, that will save yourself some time and money, because you won't have to buy certain, even organic sprays or whatever, and mixing them and spraying them and all that kind of stuff. So that's my goal for over the winter and spring, is to gradually get more of these nets. And I'll experiment with one and see how it goes. But anyways, moving on. Here is this is gosh, cabbage, and I'm trying. This is Charleston Wakefield cabbage, and this was a late starter. This was where that last of the pumpkin plants was at, and I finally got rid of that one so I took the last one I had and just transplanted it in. So it's a little behind, but that's okay. So like I said, cabbage, that's oregano right in there. I can smell it from here. Uh-oh, I think I see a weed in there. It's got to go. As I slosh through the mud. Look down there. This is what I get to step in. Because there's really no drainage in here. So here is a weed. Get out of here, weed. And they're hogging up all my oregano. But look at this. This is two oregano plants that I transplanted. Oh, gosh, the smell of this stuff. It is just tremendous. I have tried watching different videos on how to use your herbs and everything, or as the Europeans call it, herbs. And I've never been able to really get good at this. You know, I've seen videos that say, oh, if it's fresh herbs like this, you want to put it in at the end of your spaghetti sauces and things like that, because otherwise you just don't impart the flavor and all that kind of stuff. And some people say, well, you should chop it this way or cut it this way so that it brings out the oils. And some people are like, oh, put it in whole, you know, don't chop it, just lay the leaves in there. I don't know. You know, I've tried different things, and I just don't know if I get a really powerful oregano flavoring in my sauces and stuff. But God, I just love the smell of this. I wish you guys could smell this. Yeah, you guys know what oregano smells like, but God, oh, beautiful, 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 beautiful. Just love it. More cabbage. This whole bed is dedicated to cabbage, and these are all the same variety, Charleston Wakefield. Supposed to be I think 4 to 6 pound heads, and so these are starting to take off. Like I said, these are all from seeds, and I could have done a better job, I guess, if I'd have gotten some starts from the thing. They would be further along, but I think I'll be okay. This is still the pepper bed. These are all my bell peppers, chocolate bells, purple bells, things like that, and they're still, look at this is that tool material I got on there. They are still flowering and putting on all kinds of buds on some of these plants, and I had to cover the stuff up because I think the rabbits were coming out here and just eating up and tearing up all my plants, and tearing up my peppers and eating them, and I'd come out and find half-eaten peppers hanging on the plant and everything, and I'm just like, this has got to stop. You know, they're just terrorizing my stuff up, and I'm not getting any of my things. So I still have quite a few plants out here, and like I said, they're flowering like crazy still. So this is also keeping me from being able to put in cabbage and other things in this bed, because it's just so chock full of pepper still. You know, I just don't have the heart to pull them all out because they're doing so well for me. And I owe my thanks to Praxis on his channel, because his pruning techniques that I've viewed and practiced really do work. I mean, thank you, Praxis. I mean, good God Almighty. I've never had peppers be this productive ever. And it's just going crazy. But yeah, whenever these do finally settle down, you know, I'm going to put in, maybe I'll put in my strawberries in here. I don't know. I just don't know. You know, the plans are always subject to change, as you gardeners well know. Here are my blueberry plants. Now, my blueberry plants, this is brand new growth here, you know, and they're still just putting on massive amounts. What is this? What is that? You got to go. You're not getting on my leaves. But it's just putting on massive growth. I mean, look at how tall this is. This stuff has gotten. Look at this. This is taller than I am. Now, they're up on, whatchamacallit, they're up on pallets and everything. But, geez, look at this. I'm having to reach all the way up here. This is one massive cane. And the only thing that worries me about when they get this tall and stuff like that is, you know, different storms that come through, you know. And you just never know. Is it going to blow your cane over, snap them, you know, during a winter storm or something, you know? So hopefully, being with this 10-foot or 12-foot wall back there, and, you know, house on this side back here, that it'll protect it from the north winds that'll be coming in not too long from now. And but I am really expecting and hoping that next spring, early summer, that my blueberry plants will really be super productive, because most of these plants are going into their, I think, 5th year, and so these should really start to put out a lot more fruit. And I'll be checking the pH and stuff over the wintertime, see what I need to adjust and all that kind of stuff to keep it low. And what can I say? Some blueberry plants didn't do so well last year as far as production. They didn't produce anything, and other plants produced more than they did the year before. It still wasn't a lot for my taste. I would have liked a lot more, because I barely had enough to just come out here each day and take a couple handfuls or whatever and pop them in my mouth, and that was it. You know, so I'm hoping to be able to get as much, so much that I can eat some, and then be able to freeze the others. You know, so I could use them throughout the summer and maybe even into the fall if I'm lucky enough. But yeah, they're put on a lot of green growth, and I'm hoping that next spring these will produce then a lot more for me. Over here in the 3 plants that you see here, and the plants that are in this little bed right here, round bed, that's collard greens. And these are the Georgia collard greens, Creole they called it. But I also threw in a few more seeds in here just recently, so you'll see some green growth all through here and a little back in there. And I know this is covering in the shade a lot because of the blueberries, but these blueberries will start to lose their leaves here. Should be not too long from now. And then those will get more sunlight. Like you can see, I got some, they've sprouted up. They sprouted up in here. These are not weeds. These are some of my collard greens and everything in there. So, you know, they're coming along. They're already starting to be nibbled on a little bit by bugs, so I'm going to have to spray them maybe this evening if I remember to get to it with some BT. Okay, so hopefully these things will keep on producing. I don't think I'll put any kind of protective covering to extend the season through winter. I don't know. I don't know. That's more expense. And out here, I have what I'm growing for the first time, some as you guys probably know and can see, some Swiss char. Okay, and this was the rainbow variety, but it seems that most of everything that's sprouted up and done well is the red vein variety. Okay, so you can see the red coloring here, and this is kind of tipped over a little bit. And like I said, we've had some rain here the past few days, and I do have, I think this is a yellow or a white variety right here. I just haven't had a whole lot of luck getting other varieties to grow so well. The red seems to be doing the best so far. I have a few that I just put it in here as seeds and sprouted, and I think this is one here, and even that one looks to be a red variety. So, you know, the red seems to be really germinating, doing well. So, yeah, as you can see, the sun hitting the here, it's gotten past that big old willow tree over there, and sun's getting lower in the sky. And the angle and of the sun. This was a this right here is a daisy flower my daughter was growing, and here's some weeds. Get out of there. But I said, well, just go ahead and put it in the ground and see what we get. So I did, and it's starting to come alive now. They've got some decent rains and everything, and as you can see, the blackberries, they're still holding on to their leaves. They haven't dropped them yet. I've already pruned my blackberries, so it's just a matter of tying these off to the this wire, this trellis that I made, this 2-wire trellis that I made. And you know, the Japanese beetles really did a number on these. The Japanese beetles, I think, have finally settled down that this cooler weather has come in. But they really did a number on my blackberry plants, and I'm not very happy with that. They skeletonized my blackberries a lot. Now, thank goodness they didn't really start attacking until after fruiting was done and over with. And but still, I got to find some way of dealing with this. I bought a trap. It seemed to do okay. I may buy a couple more and see if that doesn't help next year, but other than that, I got to try to find some kind of organic way to deal with them. I mean, yeah, I could sit there and probably cover them up with tool material or something, but you know, that just gets a little too pricey. I'd rather just come out and hit them with a spray, organic spray or something like that, and deter them. One of the products that I used was the Azazole, which is a higher concentration of the azadactrin, which is the main ingredient in the neem oil products that so many people use. So I was hoping that that would do a better job, or it would be more effective. It's pretty pricey. My thoughts on it as far as that is they're kind of mixed results, you know. They seem to be okay. It didn't really stop the squash bugs. The squash bugs still came. So I don't know how effective neem oil would really be. Sometimes it seems like it works great one season, next season it doesn't seem to be stopping anything, you know. Because a couple seasons ago for my pumpkin plants, I used neem oil for the first time, and I had not one squash bug, no eggs, nothing. Next season, bam, I had them. So I don't know. I don't know if the neem oil is very effective for that certain kind of thing for squash bugs. And the Azazole, which has a higher concentration than neem oil of the azadactrin ingredient, which is the main ingredient there, I don't know. I don't know if it was worth the expense to see the results that I got from it, because I had you know, sometimes it seems like I'd have an outbreak of aphids, other times I didn't. So it's mixed results. I'm not totally sold on it yet, and I'm not ready to totally disregard it yet. You know, so anyways, my scarecrow there and the one back there in the background, he's going to they're going to keep an eye on the garden. So from Pittman's Pumpkin Patch, Pittman's Garden Patch, I'll talk at you guys later, and happy gardening. Thanks for tuning in. And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe and tell all your friends. All right? Have a good one.